Hello Commanders, welcome to another day in Star Trek Fleet Command. In today's video, I wanted to go over the 2024 preview roadmap preview that Scopely just released yesterday. As some of you know, in my Discord, I had some family stuff. I was doing some stuff with family last night. I guess it's time of the year for that, right? And so I didn't do my live stream, but still plan on trying to do those Thursday nights. So yeah, feel free to watch out for that. Join the Discord in the description below so you can be aware of that. Also, before we jump into it, if you're new, please remember to subscribe and like the video. And if you want to be aware of future content, hit that bell notification as well. So it's interesting. I actually tried to pull up this on my phone last night, and what can I say? So I guess it's Scopely, maybe? I don't know. Maybe some of you IT guys will know more about it, but I couldn't read it. It was just like totally zoomed in and the sides were cropped. There's nothing I could do rotating my phone or adjusting the size of the font. Nothing. So I couldn't actually read it until this morning. So it is what it is, right? Anyways, let's look at it together, and I want to just share my thoughts. I know seems like in today's age, as a content creator, you try and get out, you want to be the first, right? The first person to review the content. And sometimes I just don't have time for that. So apologize about that. But I do want to give my own thoughts on it because I've given it some thoughts, and I have questions and doubts about some of the things that are coming up, some things in the article. I'll share those with you and encourage you to certainly give your feedback in the video. But don't be afraid to, send a ticket in, send some feedback in. I've seen things changed in this game when the players just are outraged and they send in feedback to the company. Remember many years ago when they took away the 1 billion, the 10 million, the 10 million lock, and players were livid, high, low, everyone, and they put the locks in place, and now it's the thing. So anyways, let's go through it, and once again, give your feedback, not just to me, but send it into Scopely if there are things you're like, hey, this isn't cool, or I agree with this, I like it, I don't like it, but don't attack them. Give constructive feedback saying this is really not acceptable and this is what we need to have changed. Okay, so it starts off, and I won't really go too much into this. It talks about the 5th year anniversary and the people that won. Good for you, and I hope that was a good experience going and having that, or getting one of the 4 cubes. That actually looks pretty cool. So yeah, good job for you who got that. Okay, if we hop down here, first thing they mention is this Ionite Nebula Instance PvP universe. It's basically this, it's very much, for those who aren't familiar with other games, this area where you can go and no one else can bother you. It's just you and whoever is involved in it. Like Wave Defense, it's just you and 4 other players fighting hostiles. It's basically an area designated, and we'll have to see what kind of things they do with it. I was watching Tiberius's video, and he mentioned, capture flag kind of thing. I think that'd be kind of cool. Something like that. I've been making comments in chat for many years, how they need to have an arena, is it like a gladiator style? Is it some battle royale, whatever it is? And in fact, our server did something a few years ago where people gathered in one system and they just duked it out, and it was a player setup thing. It wasn't Scopely. So something like that official with rewards would be kind of cool. In the picture here, they've got a Rialta, so you could single it out to certain type of ships. That might be interesting. So we kind of have to see how that plays out. But ultimately, I always thought it would be cool because it would give, especially higher level players that have these massive ships, to duke it out, or players that are spending money on ships, to really feel like, hey, I get more value out of this than just sweeping miners. I mean, how much fun is that? You have no chance against a huge ship like that if you're being hit. So it gives them a chance to use their ships and actually get some rewards for that. So I think that would be kind of interesting. So we'll have to see kind of how that goes. Dynamic boss hostiles. That's interesting. There used to be a strategy. I think they patched it so you can't do this anymore. But it used to be a strategy where if you couldn't quite take out a hostile with your ship, when I'm talking about one of these yellow boss hostiles, that you could hit it with, you double tap it. So you'd hit it with one ship. And I remember using different crew combinations where you might have the first ship might have someone like Yuki who could strip away the shields, and then you'd have your other ship come in, and if you timed it just right, the shields would be down or mostly down on the boss hostile, and then you could take it out. So this hopefully isn't just some variation of Armadas, but they actually have, maybe you could coordinate with multiple players on your alliance or on your server to take out these massive hostiles. So maybe it's like wave defense, but rather than having multiple hostiles that are coming in, you have one massive hostile that you have to attack with multiple ships, with burning, hull breach, what have you, different things come into the game maybe in the future that will help you take them down. So that's kind of interesting. Depends on how they do it, how they structure it, and the rewards that go along with that. So that will be interesting to see. Alliance Games, a new type of regional cross-server competitive event that will pit alliances against each other in a unique league system for big rewards. It better be bigger rewards for me than the Kelvin crew, like with Kirk. For me, that's just not interesting. So hopefully that picture isn't just, what the rewards might be. And hopefully they structure in a way. I have found myself that I hate the cross-server leaderboards more than the regular leaderboards when we talk about, for example, spend events. So hopefully they make it competitive in a way that isn't going to fall flat in its face. So that's the concern for me. But if they're going to encourage people to work together as an alliance to beat other alliances on other servers, kind of cross-server thing. One of the most interesting things I think players find about incursions is the chance to interact with other people on other servers and get to know them and talk with them. And that's not for everyone, I get that, but so there's some potential there. I think the concerns I have with everything I've seen so far that we've reviewed comes down to this last point where they talk about quality versus quantity. And this is the part where I have to give most of my feedback. For me, I am a huge fan of Star Wars. And I have loved Star Wars since I was little. My brothers were big into Star Wars. We're talking to George Lucas Star Wars episodes 4, 5, and 6. And 1, 2, and 3 were not quite as good, but they were still George Lucas style, in my opinion. And I don't want to get into a big political rant here. That's not my style. But ever since Disney came out, and this is just me relating it to myself personally, right? But ever since Disney came out with shows, they've come out with, there's been two main problems in my opinion. One, they have come out with show after show after show, and they've come out with them so fast, and they've neglected the player base and their opinions and what's important to them, and there's a whole another side of it I won't touch. But ultimately, they came out with so much so quickly, and the writing was just horrible that it's turned a lot of players away. And so when I think of quality versus quantity, my thoughts are, and I believe this was something Rev went over in his last video over the state of the game, where he talked with some big players, some whales. And there was a comment Rev made that Scopely does not want to cut back like their schedule for releasing new content. And so seeing this now is interesting. And I think their argument is, well, we don't want to upset our investors. Well, okay, but how happy are investors going to be if the game just shuts down because players are just fed up? So that's just my thoughts there. It would be interesting to see what they actually mean by quality. Another thing that I have thought for years, and they mention it quite I can't remember who it was on Rev's video, but they mentioned it very clearly that the thought that I had anyways and had for years is that Scopely apparently doesn't, and this isn't, I mean, I don't know why they can't do more on this, but they seem to release content and then rely on the players to test it out and find out what needs to be fixed. And that just seems wrong to me. Like, why would you release content if you're really trying to have really good quality content and then, I don't know, it's we aren't just bug fixers and quality fixers, but we pay for the privilege to do so, whether that's in time or money. Certainly the bigger players, the whales in money, for the privilege to be their content testers and fixers. Why can't they do better? I mean, honestly, why can't they have a good quality check team that makes sure this is a good quality product that isn't going to crash the servers? And this isn't just happened once, it's happened multiple times this year. So it'll be interesting. Do they mean that they are going to have less frequent launches? Are they still going to have a launch cycle where they are doing a new battle pass every single month? Are they going to do every other month? Are they going to skip a couple times during the year? Are they still going to be releasing something every single month, but they have more people on their teams that they've hired and trained, and they're going to have more people doing quality checks before they release content? Are they going to have a higher standard saying we actually won't release this content until it's not 50% ready, but 90% ready? I don't know. I don't know. I think a lot of people have left the game because they don't know, because they don't trust Scopely anymore. This phrase right here, we can and will do better. I have heard that multiple times stated from Eco in different videos that I've watched. And I just, Eco, if you hear this, I'm sorry to say this, but it's starting to sound insincere because you're not doing better. You're the same. Same or worse, in my opinion. So where do I want to leave this video? I don't want to leave this video on a negative note. I think there's some good things that potentially can be coming out, some fun mechanics. The biggest problem in this game right now, in my opinion, is the lack of stability. Multiple crashes, things taking way too long. I take 30 minutes just to do my daily claims in the morning, for example. So if they really want to do better, they've got to address some of these things. They've got to address them quickly. The stability being number one. Let's just fix the lag, fix the stability issues, make it so that my game isn't going to crash like 10 plus times a day. I mean, wave defense is a perfect example. I still crash when I'm on my phone most of the times when I'm in a wave. And I actually have started trying to just restart my machine my phone as soon as I start a wave defense in anticipation that hopefully it will help it keep it from crashing. So ultimately, if you have any similar thoughts, once again, I said this multiple times already in the video and I apologize, but I can't help but stress that nothing's going to change just by complaining, between your alliance mates, or to be vulgar or crude when you're sending feedback into Scopely. But I would still encourage you that as you see problems like this, send in feedback, send in a ticket, and even if you don't get a response, send in a ticket and say, this is a problem, please fix it. And don't attack them. Be courteous in your reply. Just be honest and say, here's my problems, here's where I want and need to have fixes, or honestly, I'm not going to play anymore, or something like that. If you're berating and attacking people, that doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't help anyone. It doesn't make anything better. So those are just my thoughts. I think there's some really cool stuff that could be coming up. Hoping that the quality, number one, I hope the quality gets better, the game gets better, and it continues to be something fun for a long time. And I don't just say that because I'm a content creator and I want you to watch my stuff, but I really do enjoy this game. I enjoy the community, I enjoy working and talking with people, and I enjoy helping my alliance mates to become better, stronger, and take on bigger targets and see us all advance in the game as well. So anyways, leave your comments below in the section below. If you have any questions, please let me know. Thanks so much and have a good day.